I'm Andrew Parker. I'm a biologist, and I accidentally came across a parallel between science and religion. And I've written this up in a book called the Genesis Enigma. Just to let you know where I'm coming from here, I work on colour and vision in nature, which involves looking at the spectrum of colours out there from red to violet and comprehending that and considering how life works. But there's a strange thing in that one of the colours that's commonly used in nature is ultraviolet, yet we don't see this. So butterflies are displaying beautiful ultraviolet patterns along with flowers and birds, and yet we have no idea of this. We know it's there through measuring it with scientific equipment, but we just can't comprehend it. We can't add it to our thoughts. Another interesting point is the virtual reality one, in that colour actually doesn't exist at all. Colour is something that's born in our brains. So add all of this together and it makes a comprehension of the world, of the biological world, really quite tricky, in that we sometimes feel that we know everything, but in fact we don't. We're quite far from it. Indeed, if there are there are things out there we know from scientific equipment, but what if we don't have scientific equipment to measure everything that there is out there? There could be other things too. Although science is incredibly solid and it can fill all these small gaps such as missing links, there are perhaps some big mysteries in the universe that it can't solve, such as energy, and other mysteries which I outline in the Genesis Enigma. Indeed, the Genesis Enigma itself could be one of those mysteries. So bearing all this in mind, it does appear that possibly the sensible option is to consider that science has its boundaries. Science is very solid the way it works, but it can only go so far, beyond which there are perhaps some real mysteries that we're never going to comprehend. And maybe God falls into this space, or even occupies this space beyond science. Maybe a sensible approach is to accept science fully, not trying to attack it, and then we can have a much stronger belief in God without trying to fool ourselves in any way. And I think that's the conclusion that I draw in the Genesis Enigma, in that science is totally strong, but there is certainly room for God.